In the dead of night, I retreated into my quarters after securing the doors. As I was updating one of my ongoing stories on my Kindle, I left my wife to tend to our baby boy, who is not even 3 months old. He will be 3 months old on May 22, 2023. My wife put my son down and went to the restroom around 12:43 a.m., so the baby was alone in his crib for 7 minutes or so. I saw her when she went to the restroom, so I knew Jasper was alone. At 12:50 a.m., I had a distinct feeling of unease jolting through me, causing me to return to the room. To my dismay, the closet doors were wide open, which was concerning since my wife had seen me with her own eyes vividly close them, and I also remember closing them. I do this because of our baby's fascination with them. He stares way too much towards the closet. He also tends to always be staring all around the roof from side to side, which is not normal. Recently he started pointing, and it seems to me like he is pointing. He is not even 3 months old, but he is a very active and aware boy. I was so puzzled by the closet door mystery that I immediately questioned my teenager's movements, both of whom denied ever entering my room. And my daughter was passed out in her quarters. This left me perplexed. Who opened the closet doors? Furthermore, my baby's antics were mind-boggling, with him giggling and staring unblinkingly at the ceiling and the darkest corners of the room. Something in my home wasn't right. My son's preoccupation with the closet was especially apparent, considering babies aren't typically fascinated by those spaces. Every time I looked up from my writing, my son was staring at the top of the closet, making me more and more anxious by the minute. I'm worried about my son's welfare, but I can't decide if this was an innocent coincidence or otherwise. In an attempt to rule out the paranormal, I set up 2 cameras in the room to monitor my son's activities. As parents, we must never leave anything to chance where our children's safety is concerned. Even though we've been monitoring the situation, our surveillance system has not captured any evidence of the strange phenomena. This led us to explore alternative solutions, such as using a ghost tube app. Continuing on with the updates regarding the strange and unexplainable events unfolding in our home, I feel it is necessary to add a bit more context that might shed some light on the situation. As a long-time believer in spiritual entities, I have witnessed many unusual occurrences over the years and felt that it was only fitting to explore and understand these events better by using a ghost tube app. In the initial stages of using this app, we didn't see or capture anything out of the ordinary, but that quickly changed with recent sessions. Strangely, whenever I asked questions through the app, the stick figures would move to signify their response, and more often than not, they would say something directed at me specifically. The words, "cop," "bill," "fear me," that the app delivered were wholly jarring, and it still amazes me that these entities could potentially harm my family and me. It's clear that there's more to this situation than meets the eye, and I can't help but feel that we're walking a fine line between safety and endangerment. While I was holding Jasper during the communication, the app mentioned the words, kiss, care, above, bike, mesas, bastante, esperar, Gennaro, and Viejo. Although I couldn't decipher their significance, it was clear that they were unrelated and out of context. At the same time, Jasper began coughing and felt anxious, leading me to take him outside for his well-being. Throughout my session, I've also received other messages with different words like levitation, follow, help, lemon, Michael, if, night, quitter, insomnia, among others. However, I'm still struggling to understand their meaning and importance in this situation. During the same sessions, I heard the app say, Alexander above, in a tone that insinuated a conjunction. While I was aware that it didn't make sense on the surface, I felt in my gut that it had some significance. Similarly, the phrase, fear me, repeatedly delivered by the app was a clear indication that the spirits or entities in question had malevolent intentions. Despite the fact that my name Alexander and my son's name Jasper were both uttered in my last session, the app directed the words, "You stopped after I completed an Our Father prayer in my room." I have come to notice that the stick figures direct their attention towards me and Jasper. It's a very eerie and unsettling feeling to be aware of this. One thing is clear, they're attempting to cause harm. I hope that I am wrong and that all they want to do is communicate something. Jasper's behavior became erratic and wearisome after they said his name out loud, and he got a cough right after. So I told my son, "Let's go outside," and the Spirit Box app responded with, "Do not." It was clearly telling me not to take my son out of the room. But still worried and unsure of the situation and our safety, I decided to keep my son Jasper very close to me. If I don't have him, my wife does, or one of our children. Can't leave him alone. These messages were eerie and unsettling, making it clear that we must be cautious and pay attention to any clues concerning our safety.